Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology is now accepting applications for the 2018 National Innovative Competition under the theme Recognizing Excellence in Innovation. Submit entries to any of our 11 categories to win cash grants and trophies. Applications must bear the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office's JIPO seal to indicate authenticity of submission. Applications must be mailed or delivered to Mrs. Andrea Carr, Coordinator for the Innovation Awards Secretariat at the Scientific Research Council SRC. For more information, call 1-876-927-1771 or visit the SRC website www.src.gov.jm. Application closes Monday, April 30, 2018.
The Ministry of National Security is getting a $14.9 billion increase in its estimated allocation for the 2018-19 financial year. Approximately $78.5 billion is estimated to finance the ministry's operations. Of that amount, $66 billion will be spent on administrative expenses under the recurrent estimates. The allocation includes $23 billion for the ministry's operations, $35 billion for the police department, $7 billion to the correctional services, and $741 million to the Institute of Forensic Science. Also included in the overall estimates are $11 billion to undertake government-funded capital projects and $1.4 billion to carry out other programs funded by Jamaica's multilateral and bilateral partners. The drive to increase mobility, develop infrastructure and expand technology will continue with funds from the Capital A estimates. On the Jamaica Defence Force side, $1.3 billion has been set aside to purchase vehicles. To facilitate the purchase of 2 surveillance aircraft, approximately $3.8 billion has been assigned to facilitate the purchase of 2 surveillance aircraft. Other undertakings will see $1.6 billion being used to facilitate construction and improvement works at the military base, with another $1.8 billion to implement cybersecurity initiatives. For its $2.4 billion, the Ministry of National Security will use $380 million to implement cybersecurity initiatives. $1 billion will be used to buy motor vehicles and bikes for both the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Department of Correctional Services. To continue the upgrading of radio networks and the supply and installation of CCTVs, $380 million has been set aside. And to facilitate the build-out of new infrastructure and the rehabilitation of police stations and correctional facilities, $566 million have been earmarked.
When we acknowledge that there are intersections and we are interconnected and we work together, we can achieve great things.
And so several projects will continue in the new fiscal year with support from our bilateral and multilateral partners. Targets under the 5-year Justice, Security, Accountability and Transparency Project JSAT will include classrooms and dormitories at the National Police College being rehabilitated and equipped, training of personnel and supply of equipment to counter corruption, and installing electronic case management system. The European Union will provide grant funding of $198 million, while the Government of Jamaica will contribute $81 million. Social intervention programs under Phase 3 of the Citizen Security and Justice Program CSJP will receive over $1 billion from funding partners. Among the objectives for the new fiscal year are to train 100 community parent trainers, provide violence interruption services in 40 communities, construct 1 community center, provide vocational skills training for 474 beneficiaries, and provide on-the-job apprenticeship and internship to beneficiaries. CSJP3 has been operating since 2014, with completion set for November 2019. In the meantime, government will continue its strategic plans to rehabilitate and reintegrate local offenders and persons deported to the island. The 2018-2019 financial year will see $6.6 billion being spent to improve service delivery to deported migrants, develop a framework to measure the level of reintegration among deported migrants, and carry out a public education campaign for deportees. In addition, government will seek to revise the national deportation policy, develop and submit to Cabinet a reintegration and rehabilitation strategy, and prepare a strategy that will include returned migrants in the local sustainable development planning process. The Ministry of National Security, making more resources available to crime fighters, while embarking on a number of programs to achieve social development and maintain law and order in the 2018-19 fiscal year.